Rajendra Lahiri, an embodiment of religious unity and strength. I am not going to die, but I am going to be born to free India. These were the words of a man who stared death in the face with a look of pride and a sense of accomplishment for what he was able to do for his country. Known by several aliases, Jugal Kishore, Jawahar and Charu to name a few, Rajendra Nath Lahiri was an illustrious freedom fighter of India, whose convictions and dreams of a free India propelled the Indian independence movement to greater heights. This is the story of a man whose unapologetic and indomitable revolutionary spirit infused strength and hope in people to fight towards attaining their goal of complete freedom from their oppressors. Early life and education. Rajendra Nath Lahiri was born in a Brahmin family to Shite Mohan Lahiri and Basant Kumari on 29th June 1901 in the Mohanpur village located in the district of Pabna in present-day Bangladesh. His father was a landowner belonging to an upper-class community. According to some reports, Rajendra's father was a revolutionary figure involved in the different secret activities and organizations established during the freedom movement. It is stated that he was in prison at the time of his son's birth due to his participation in the activities of the Anushilan Samiti that had been forbidden by the government. After completing his primary education, Rajendra joined the Banaras Hindu University or BHU in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh to pursue a MA degree in history. While in college, due to his background in economics and history, he was able to work as the secretary of the Bengal Sahitya Parishad as well as the Health Union at BHU. A chance meeting with one of the legendary freedom fighters during this time led him to make the decision to take on a more active role in the Indian independence movement. This decision to shift from being a passive student, a mere observer of history, to being an active part of it became the building block of his political life. That one decision later served to etch him permanently into the history of his country. Political activities. The feelings of patriotism had been instilled in Rajendra Lahiri from a young age itself. At the age of 9, he went to live with his maternal uncle in Varanasi, where he continued to foster his patriotic spirit for his country. At the time when the revolutionary movement was gaining traction in Uttar Pradesh, Rajendra was pursuing his higher education in college. He made the life-changing decision to become a part of the political activities to oust the British Empire from India. As part of this decision, Rajendra, along with some of his friends from college, joined the Hindustan Republican Association, one of the most revolutionary organizations established in India at the time. Hindustan Republican Association or HRA. The Hindustan Republican Association or HRA was a popular revolutionary party established with the aim of redefining the Indian freedom struggle by adopting a radical or militant strategy towards eliminating the British presence from India. During his time in college, Rajendra Lahiri had the opportunity to meet and get acquainted with the renowned freedom fighter Sachindranath Sanyal, one of the founding members of HRA. Sanyal recognized the deep passion and spirit for independence burning in Rajendra, and it credited with stoking the fire of rebellion in the young and zealous Rajendra Lahiri, making him an ideal fit for the militant party. Upon joining the HRA as a member, he was appointed as the editor of the Bangavani magazine by Sanyal in addition to being the coordinator and arms in charge of the Anushilan Samiti's Varanasi branch. The dedication, willingness, and loyalty showcased by Rajendra towards defeating the British Empire was highly impressive and soon earned him a place in the numerous secret meetings held by the HRA. The Kakori train conspiracy. The infamous Kakori train conspiracy was an attempt by the Indian revolutionaries that served the dual purpose of procuring the armaments and money required to run the political operations of the reactionaries and also calling the attention of the masses to their activities while simultaneously delivering a blow to the British ego. Rajendra Lahiri is considered to be the mastermind behind the scheme. Their plan was to ambush the train travelling from Kakori to Lucknow and to loot from it the money belonging to the British government. The robbery was to be executed in the same manner as the previous ones that the members of the HRA had committed to fund their radical activities. The plan was implemented on 9th August 1925 by a group of 4 members that included Rajendra Lahiri along with Ashfaqullah Khan, Thakur Roshan Singh and Ram Prasad Bismil. As the train arrived at the Kakori station, Rajendra pulled the chain in a second-class compartment, bringing the train to a stop and giving the signal to the remaining members to perform their duties as assigned beforehand. However, not everything went according to plan, as during the heist, one of the passengers was accidentally shot and killed. This prompted all the perpetrators to immediately leave the area and go into hiding. Dakshineshwar bombing incident 1925 to 1926. Dakshineshwar is a place situated near Calcutta in Bengal and was a center for activities planned and carried out by the revolutionary freedom fighters. It was mainly utilized by them as a bomb factory for the manufacture of explosives that were to be used as a part of their militant activities. Soon after the Kakori train incident, Rajendra Lahiri, along with 8 other associates, were sent to Dakshineshwar to learn the skill of preparing bombs. During one such time, a mishap on the part of one of the revolutionaries became the trigger that initiated a chain reaction, which ultimately led to the death of some of the most fearsome fighters the country was blessed with. On one such normal day, where Rajendra was collecting the materials required to make an explosive, a fellow revolutionary present there accidentally set off a bomb due to a careless mistake on his part. Reports state that the explosion was loud enough to alert the police, who immediately arrived at the scene and arrested Rajendra and 9 other individuals. This incident came to be publicly known as the 1925 Dakshineshwar bomb case, arrest and trial. In the trial following the lesser-known Dakshineshwar bomb case, the court sentenced Rajendra to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment in the Andaman Cellular Jail. But soon after this, the police were able to track down the main culprits behind the Kakori conspiracy, and Rajendra's role in the dacoity was revealed to the government. He was shifted to the Lucknow Central Jail and again brought to the legal arena to be tried for his revolutionary actions along with the other arrested members. The Kakori case trial began in Lucknow. It was a lengthy procedure involving political machinations on the part of the British government in order to mete out severe punishment for the arrested revolutionaries. They were accused of waging war on the British Empire and looting their finances. Finally, after an extensive legal procedure, the 4 main perpetrators of the Kakori conspiracy, Rajendra Nath Lahiri, Ashfaqullah Khan, Thakur Roshan Singh and Ram Prasad Bismil, were found guilty and sentenced to death by the court. Death. The prisoners were separated from each other and sent to different prisons by the authorities. As per the sentence issued by the court, all 4 culprits of the KAKORI case were supposed to be hanged to death on 19th December 1927. However, what followed the trial was something that was never before seen in the history of India. Fearing the mass protestations against the arrest of the revolutionaries, as well as many attempts by the prisoners to escape from jail, the British government decided to speed up the process of delivering the punishment, at least for one of the prisoners. And this was how, on 17th December 1927, 2 days before the scheduled date, Rajendra Nath Lahiri was hanged to death at the Gonda district jail in Uttar Pradesh. His death marked the first time in the history of capital punishment where a death sentence was implemented before the decided schedule. Notable work. Rajendra Lahiri was a prolific writer who had written several pieces of articles for newspapers during his years in college. Some of his most notable work was done for papers like Bangavani. He had also contributed to a magazine called Shankar, which was edited by Sachindranath Sanyal. In addition to this, Rajendra is credited with writing articles for the handwritten monthly magazine known as Agradut. He nurtured a deep passion for Bengali literature and was well known for his reading habits. This consequently led him to set up a small library in honor of his mother. Religious perceptions. Rajendra Nath Lahiri has often been at the center of debate around religion and his beliefs. Even though he was born into a Brahmin family, he never let his religion define him and his actions. Discarding the traditional religious beliefs and norms in favor of being part of a socialist, secular group that shared the united goal of freeing their country from foreign clutches. His extensive reading habits had also played a critical role in shaping his religious views and perceptions. This had led him to challenge the conventional religious and social practices and adopt an anti-religious view on the subject of religion. Such was his conviction that Rajendra Lahiri was held as the symbol of both ideological transition from anti-British nationalism to socialism, as well as the religious shift to agnosticism that bordered on atheism. Legacy. Rajendra Nath Lahiri was without doubt one of the most formidable opponents of the British regime. To honor the sacrifices and contributions of the legendary martyr, the date of his death, 17th December, is celebrated as Lahiri Divas every year in the Gonda district. Additionally, in remembrance of his martyrdom, his statue has been installed in the Gonda district jail. Conclusion. Rajendra Nath Lahiri was a true revolutionary who was not bound by the traditional rules, cultural norms, or religious beliefs that often trapped various other political activists from reaching their full potential in attaining complete freedom for their country. He fully embraced the role of a reactionary and did not shy away from taking any form of risks that ensured that India was one step closer towards her independence. However, his dedication, strength and sacrifice for his countrymen is not given its due credit by his own people, and he largely remains as an unsung, unappreciated hero of India.